The Lord bless you in the mighty name of Jesus. This is Prophet Shedrack, and in today's teaching, I'm going to be very brief and accurate, and we are on a series in this period, and the series is going to be on understanding different kinds of prophets, so that you understand different kinds of prophet. Prophet are not just people that stand on the altar to prophesy. Prophet are those that speak the mind of God. Prophet are those that say things and it comes to pass. Prophet are those that are accurate. Prophet are those that hears from God and speak to the people. So now I'm going to start with this prophet Samuel in the Bible. The prophet Samuel in the Bible. Which pattern of prophecy or which pattern is his prophetic office? All right, the prophet Samuel, if you look at from the very time of his calling, he was lying down before the altar and he heard a voice. He was sleeping and he heard a voice. He stood up, he went to meet his master Eli, and the master said he was not calling him. He went back again. He still had the same dream. He still heard God again from his sleep, and he woke up, went back, and the master perceived that was the voice of God. And the master said, anytime you hear it again, just respond to it. And Samuel responded to it, and God started speaking to him. Now, what kind of prophet is Samuel? Which dimension is he operating? Now, the problem that we are having in this dispensation when it comes to the prophetic is that everybody wants to stand on the pulpit and prophesy directly. But I want to tell you a secret. I want to tell you some secrets now, but I'm going to start with the prophet Samuel. Samuel is a kind of prophet that sees things before he gets to the place of prophecy. Samuel sees things before the very day of prophesying. Samuel is a kind of prophet that before he goes for a program, he already saw everything that he was to say in that program, everything God was to do in that program. Take for example, in 1 Samuel chapter 9, I think in verse 15, and Samuel speaking said, the Bible said, God already told Samuel by ear a day before Saul came to meet him. God already told him by ear that there is somebody that is coming tomorrow, that you are going to anoint and make him king over Israel. A day before Samuel came, a day before Saul came, Samuel already saw it. And if you also look at the book of First Samuel chapter 15, I think verse 16, the Bible also speaking, Samuel said, he told Saul, he says, tarry with me and I will tell you what God told me last night. Samuel was a kind of prophet that received most of his prophetic messages in dreams. He received most of his prophetic messages in night vision. And he was a strong prophet. The Bible spoke of the same Samuel and said, none of the word of Samuel fell to the ground. There are some prophets that do not come to the altar and begin to see on the altar, but everything that happened in the service, they see it in the night before that very day. And it is very accurate. And I want to let you know that in this dimension, in this level of the prophetic, it is the most accurate level because you have the full detail before the day. There is no distraction. Because in the prophetic, when you are giving direct prophecy, sometimes there are distractions. The distraction could be that the person's heart is not very connected. The distraction could be that the atmosphere of the prophetic in that environment is not strong enough. The distraction could be that if you are the kind of prophet that flows with worship and a good worshiper has not stirred up the atmosphere, you cannot flow very well. But the prophet that operates through dreams already saw everything he is to say in the service. Already saw everything he is to say in the service. I have a mentor like that, and this is how she flows. She flows in the level of dreams, and according to her, anytime in the night vision, God will be speaking in details to her. She will just be dreaming it and be telling, and will tell the daughter she'll be writing. The daughter will just be writing. She will be calling the name of the person that will come to her service. She see what is the problem of the person, the description of the person, the address of the person, the solution to she's seen everything through dreams, everything in details. And when she comes to the altar, she will when she look at the congregation, God just give him the signal that this message is for so person. He called the person, What is your, he calls the name of the person. Before you know, that's the name. He calls the problem, the situations, the locations, and the rest. And it is flowing along with it. Why is this like that? Because that is her own dimension she has been called to as a prophet. You see, she's a prophetess, and that is her dimension. You see, she see everything in dream. I remember I also operate in that level sometimes. Like I remember a time, I think around 6 or 5 o'clock, 5 a.m., and I was in a vision. And in this vision, I saw a woman, and the woman fetched water, this kind of water that this water that they use in bathing dead bodies. And then there is a bread, and then the bread was brought before my spirit, and I was looking at it. I was very sensitive in the spirit in this dream. Then I saw it, I took it, and I tasted from it, and immediately I knew that that water was made from the bathing of dead people. And I saw the bread, and I realized that God was speaking to me about somebody. And there is something about prophetic people. Most dreams we have are not for ourselves. Most dreams we received are not for ourselves. Sometimes when you see yourself being chased as a prophetic person in the dream, sometimes the message is not for you. Many a times the message is not for you. It's for somebody in that service who has similar encounter, and you are supposed to prophesy it. Somebody here, you dreamt, and you saw them chasing you. Your name is so. Everything you see in the dream, you realize that somebody called you a different name that is not your name in that dream. It's the name of the person that had that dream, that vision that God is trying to speak to you about. So when I had the dream, I think that day I was supposed to minister in one of our weekly activities. And then when time came for the ministration, a lady came to the church who was having mental problem. She was running mad, actually. And so while during the ministration, after ministration, and I was praying, I called her out and I was praying for her. The moment I laid my hand on her, God told me it was her that I dreamt about earlier. The dream I dreamt earlier was for her. And immediately I started prophesying to her. I said, let me describe what happened to you before you start running mad. Because once this thing comes upon her, she begins to run mad. After a while, it calms down. After a while, it continues, it starts again. And I began to explain exactly what was in the dream. I said, you had series of dream. And in this dream, somebody brought water for you and brought bread for you. You were eating in the dream. And the moment you finished eating and you woke up, you started running mad. Things, you started misbehaving. And she said that was exactly what happened. Throughout the night, before she started experiencing madness, she had dream of eating bread, and I described it, what it was there. Are you seeing? And there is something I noticed while I was prophesying, that it was even more easier to release the prophecy that I received through dreams than the ones I do directly. Because the direct one, if the heart is not open, I will have to connect to pick things, to pick names, to pick them. But this one, I began to prophesy, and I have to prophesy, go deeper in the aspect that there is a part of the family that is not a Christian, and all this stuff were on the basis of dream. You see? So don't neglect your dream life as a prophetic person. If God chooses to use dream to prophesy to you, hold it very tight. I told you a story about when I was starting, when I gave my life to Christ. Before I go for fellowship, God always speak to me through trance. It was through trance. It started through trance. I will see everything in trance. I will go to the service. I will mention it, and the people are coming out. I will give the prophecy accurately as it is. Sometimes He gives me for some ministries, I go to tell them as it is, and it is so. Now, so that is a dimension. Don't kill that dimension of God. As powerful as Daniel was, as very relevant Daniel was, his prophetic grace was operating through dream. A time came when the king Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and he wanted to kill all the magicians in the land and kill everybody that are connected to prophets and all the rest. And Daniel said, give me a night. And Daniel went and inquired of God, and God revealed to him in the night. You see, God revealed to him in the night. It was still through dream, because that is his own dimension, and he took pride in his dimension. He said, give me a night. So I told you that prophetic people, most times their dreams are not for them. You are not your own. As long as you accept to work in the prophetic ministry, you are not your own. Most of the things that comes through you are for others, not for yourself. Most of the things that come to you are for others, not for yourself. That is why the members or the people of God need to care for their prophet, because their prophet most times are not living for themselves. They are living for others. They are not living for themselves. When it's time for Elijah to see things for himself, he suffered. He went from mountain to mountain. He went from hill to hill. He was looking for the voice of God, no way. But when it is time to hear for Israel, to hear for kings, to hear for nations, he will hear it very easily, directly. But when it's time for his own, he was looking for it. So you see, so these are levels. This is one of the way. So you understand there is a part, there are kinds of prophet who receive their messages in dreams. Is a very good and accurate part. Is a very good and accurate level of the prophetic. I told you the advantage is that there is no interruption in your service. No matter how down the atmosphere is, you already have the prophetic message to pass across. No matter how tricky, if I should start giving you experiences of different dreams I had before ministration, and the accurate prophecies, time will not permit us. But what I want you to know basically is that dream is one of the way prophets operate. You are not called sharp because you give direct. Most of the prophets you are seeing who are giving accurately are seeing. It's not all of them that are giving directly there. Some of them already saw everything in the dream before that day. They are only manifesting what they have manifested already. They are only showcasing what they have manifested already. It's very important. And as prophetic people, and you want to operate in this dimension of dream, seeing accurate dream, prophetic dream, you always need to have your book and your paper close to you, your book and your pen close to you when you are sleeping, and always be expectant of a vision. I will stand on my watch to see what he will say to me. You must be at alert, readiness. You must be ready to receive something for you to receive something. You must be ready to tap from something to tap from something. Lord, this is what I want to see tonight. Reveal something to me concerning this thing, concerning this service. As somebody that want to operate in this level of dreaming everything before the service, at least a day to your ministration, you should have a very quiet time alone with God. Everything you see, you write it down. Everything you see, you write it down. Lord, speak to me. I am ministering tomorrow. Lord, what is it you want to do? Who are those you want to bless? What is their name? What is their solution? What is their name? Where are they coming from? What is the problem? Reveal it to me, and God will show you. I pray for you that we operate greatly in the prophetic. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray for you that God will activate you, that you will prophesy. In the name of Jesus, I release the grace of prophecy upon you now. In the mighty name of Jesus, receive it in the name of Jesus. Lord, I open that young man to this level of the prophetic. I open that young woman to this level of the prophetic. Let their eyes open to see in the night vision, just like Samuel, just like Daniel. I command their eyes open right now in the name of Jesus. God said, unto Moses I spoke to him face to face, and unto other prophets through visions. So one of the vision is the night vision, which is dream. I pray for you that you will begin to receive prophetic visions in the mighty name of Jesus. Receive it now in Jesus' mighty name. The Lord bless you. You are blessed. You are favored in the mighty name of Jesus. Some of you that want to support this ministry as well, you can reach me by my WhatsApp, and you will be highly blessed. All right. And I so much appreciate some of you who are supportive already. You will not miss your reward in the name of Jesus. And I'm also believing God that you will come to that realm where you will prophesy accurately. You will hear God for yourself. You are a businessman, you will hear God for yourself. You are a businesswoman, you will hear God for yourself. Things will begin to work out for you. Even in academic, the voice of God is very sweet. Every area, every dimension of life, you need the voice of God. I pray for you, you will prophesy in the mighty name of Jesus. Grace will speak for you. As a prophet, I declare upon your life, grace will speak for you in the mighty name of Jesus. The Lord bless you. Shalom.